No, and I want to kind of add on to what you said, Keith, about how the devil and the Lord, they're fighting for generations. And so we as the body, you got to look at, why is there such an attack on our minds right now with this wealth transfer? This we don't know when Jesus is coming back. We know he's coming back, but this wealth transfer could extend into the next generation. And it's a lot bigger than ourselves. Um, when you look at it from that aspect, like the devil is fiending and foaming at the mouth over this because he knows what this wealth transfer can do. And when the body finally wakes up and realizes that having wealth is not the enemy, and if they really get in their Bible and realize that much of the Lord's anointed had wealth, if they realize that Jesus wasn't in poverty, if they realize like God did equip his church, he did equip individuals, and he wants to equip us, but he wants us to also be responsible and humble and good stewards of it. And then I want to add, because I see these comments on my videos, I don't respond to everything. And man, like some people really like to throw some stones at you, which is fine. No judgment, no judgment. It doesn't even upset me. Um, but you wonder why it hasn't happened yet, or oh, you're sharing this dream, but someone else said this. You're causing confusion. No, I'm not causing confusion. I'm being obedient. And you want to look at the Bible if we're talking about investing, you know, invest in 7 ventures. Yes, 8, because you don't know which one's going to do well first. But while the others may be stagnant or not doing well,
He's quoting
and
scripture
God
when he says that.
and so God is basically telling us it's good to invest in several things. And look at, if you compile all these dreams and all these tidbits, because we're all seeing in part in our dreams, God is giving us glimpses. He's given us 7, 8 avenues. And for the individuals who may not have as much money and they're like, well, which one do I invest in? Spread yourself. It's steady plotting. Like if you can only invest so much every so often, make sure you get your feet wet in each one. And then if God reveals you something real personal and profound, and he's like, invest in this now, act on it. Don't ignore the Holy Spirit when he's nudging you. That's all I can say on that matter. But I'm very encouraged. And I was telling Keith this in regards to Sharon from Now Daily Bread. Man, I was really discouraged one day after, I think it was my first Luna dream. Like I was discouraged. And I was just driving in the car on the way home, and I was like, God, like, man, I just need some confirmation right now, because I, I never made this channel. That YouTube channel is not for me. It's not, and I want to be obedient to what you're saying, and I do not want to just be posting videos in vain. And just I want confirmation that you really are. And he had already given me confirmation, but I was just asking for more confirmation. And then I pulled up the YouTube app, and Sharon posted a video with my name in the title. And I'm like, all right, God, thank you.
Wow.
That's all I needed. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for the confirmation. And don't tell me that was coincidence, because I'm telling you, when I asked for that, she had posted the video like 2 minutes before. It had just uploaded. And so, like, in my moment of weakness, I wouldn't even say it was doubt. I just, it was really wearing heavy on me, because this whole crypto thing, the church isn't talking about this. You really, like, the church is really not awake to cryptocurrency. And a lot of them are like, oh, that's digital currency. That's the one world government. That's the mark of the beast. No, 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 not quite. Not quite. I'm not saying it won't eventually be that. Like anything can be, corrupted. Because that's what Satan does. He corrupts things. But the original creation of this, man, it may not. I don't think it's fully manifested itself into that. And so the church has really just turned their eyes off to, Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrency in general. It's just like, nope, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. That's evil. And I'm like, well, investing in these resources right now is not the same as taking the mark. Let's just be clear about that. It's not the same as taking the mark. And so don't misconstrue those things, and just really being closed-minded, because how often is God talking to us? I trust that when God is, when people are stumbling across any of our videos, the ones who cast stones and, they're just there to be mean or whatever, like, that's fine, whatever. But the individuals who, like, they randomly stumble across these videos, it wasn't at random. It wasn't.
Brother, let me jump in on that, right? Exactly what you said. That happened to me as well as others. The random stuff, I mean, it was, in fact, when I had my first dream, concerning electronium, it was a few years ago. And then I stumbled on YouTube. So I thought I stumbled on it. So I thought, and I saw Christopher Harris's video, talking about it. He was, to my knowledge, he was the first online to publicly put out his dream, about electronium. And I think maybe I was the second or the third person. Um, but I'm not. It's not. That doesn't. It's neither here nor there. I'm just saying it encouraged me when he put out his video, and then the Holy Spirit literally started dealing with me about putting out these videos. That's why the first video that I put out crypto related was about electronium, and then it just took off. The Lord started, boom, dropping more dreams on me, and it just took off. But even, I'll tell you a testimony. There's a pastor who's a good friend of mine who watches all of your guys' videos. He loves Pastor Andaza Hezekiah out of Canada, and he's got a ministry up there. This brother, this is what happened to him. He stumbled on one of my videos and one of Christopher Harris's videos one night. He said he saw one of our videos and then saw the other video, and we were both talking about the same cryptos. And he said that week, he said the Lord was telling him crypto, 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 crypto. He kept hearing it in his head, and the Lord was telling him, look at crypto. So then he stumbles on our videos, and that's when he starts getting this revelation. And let me give the spoiler alert of one of the videos I'm going to put out there. This pastor who I'm talking about, just recently, I'm talking about in the last 2 weeks, his wife had a dream. And he said his wife, whenever she has a dream, he says this pastor told me, whenever his wife has a dream, he said, because she doesn't dream often, he said it comes to pass. That's what he told me. Now, I don't know his wife, but this is what the man of God told me. He said his wife just recently had a dream. She saw cryptocurrency charts in the dream, and she saw XRP was at $60,000. That's what she saw. And she said she started praising the Lord because she was saying, praise the Lord, all our bills and our debts are paid. and the dream ended. So that's a spoiler alert for one of my upcoming videos, just putting that out there. So anyway, the pastor, when we had, just backing up a little bit, he was saying that, he randomly came across my videos and Christopher Harris out of Australia's videos, and from there now he started getting more revelation. He gets more revelation, more dreams. He's hearing the word from the Lord regarding the wealth transfer. He's getting like vision. His wife gets that dream. It's just been snowballing. And then he said, this is what just happened in the past 2 weeks. He said a new pastor in that area of Canada came to him and asked him, Pastor, do you know anything about cryptocurrency or investing in it? Because I think the Lord's leading me that way. You see, we're all connected. The body is connected, man. But it's just that all of us, we all just do our part. You said, Brother Drew, you said Sister Sharon put out that dream with your name, that video with your name on it, and it encouraged you. Bang. It's like boom, and then I didn't know where these videos were gonna go, and then boom, I saw, in fact, one moment, I'm going to tell Jay Song this. I was having one of those doubting Thomas moments a while back. And I was just like, man, am I tripping? I mean, I know the Lord gave me these dreams. Like, and I'm just scratching my head, you know, going back and forth. And I'm just like, you know, and I saw the video that Jay Song put out. And then he was explaining the little kid had that dream. And when that little kid had that dream, let me tell you something. I don't play, Jason. When little kids have dreams, I don't play with that stuff. I'm very serious because I personally believe kids have a direct line to God, children.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that, you know, they don't have the unbelief that adults can get because, you know, we go through years, go through life, we get beat up a little bit in life and, you know, a little doubt and unbelief can come in there. Children, let me tell you something. I'll give you a testimony about my kid. My kid, when he was about around 7 years old, my son wanted us to go to back to the UK to go visit our in-laws. He wanted to go see grandma and grandpa, and I was like, well, you know, because I'm looking like, hey man, I don't know where that money for them plane tickets coming from, brother, because money was kind of tight, and I said to him, I said, son, if you want to go over to England and London and all of the stuff, so if you don't go pray about it. Go ask God. And he said, you're right. That's what I'm going to do. That's exactly how he said, that's what I'm going to do. He goes in the room. He prays to God. And he comes out and says, I'm done. Well, that night he had a dream. He had a dream that he was in the airport with Jesus. Now, listen now. He's in the airport with Jesus, and Jesus walks him to the ticket counter. And Jesus says, I'd like some plane tickets for my friend here to England. And the lady at the desk told Jesus, well, you're not going to have them. Jesus raises his hand. This is what my son tells me. Jesus raises his hand. A row of angels with swords show up with swords. And then the ticket counter agent turns back around to Jesus and says, here goes your tickets, Jesus. And gives Jesus 4 tickets. Now, my wife, me, my son, and his little sister. The very next day, my son tells me that dream. He's like, Dad, I had this dream. I saw Jesus. Da-da-da-da. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, and he gave us 4 plane tickets to go to England. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. We got a phone call that day from our relative over in England. And our relative said, you know, I want you guys to come over to visit. I'm going to buy you guys 4 tickets.
In England? What?
So I'm just telling you my history. When little kids dream, pay attention. Do not throw that away. When little kids dream, that same son of mine, he dreamed that I'm going to have a house. We're going to have a house in the Midwest, somewhere in the United States, not too far from you, Drew. That's all I'm saying. So okay. I'm like, what? Because I'm like, but I never threw the dream away. He had the dream when he was like 5 years old. So wow. I said, all right, you know, hey, if that means the Lord's going to hook me up with a nice house over in the Midwest, all right, whatever you want to do, Lord. But I don't know how that's going to happen. I just, you know, keep it simple. I don't know how. But now we're talking this wealth transfer stuff. And now that we're really getting the revelations, Brother Drew's he's got a dream where he saw Luna Classic go beyond $1. Christopher Harris in Australia, he saw a dream of Luna Classic going well beyond $1. Mm-hmm. I had a dream, I saw it at $1.38. Some other people I've noticed on YouTube have had dreams of it going past $1. I'm like, whoa. And this thing's under a penny? I mean, even if we have some serious inflation, which I believe is on the horizon, you know, who knows?
Way under a penny. It's like a penny of a penny of a penny of a penny. And some people say, how is that going to happen? I believe one of the primary ways it's going to happen is somehow there's going to be what is called a burn. And what a burn is that, you know, Luna, people don't know, but Luna Classic was trading at $118. $118 is where it was at, and there was a lot of scheming going on by leadership and stuff behind the scenes, and they were jumping ship before it crashed because they knew stuff was going to be exposed, and what happened is that Luna Classic is tied and connected to something called the USDT. I think it's called USDT. I think that's the one it was connected to. And when that one lost its peg from $1, because it's supposed to be 1-on-1 with $1, the way that it keeps at $1, the way that they keep that price steady is by connecting it to a cryptocurrency called Luna. And at that time, it was the original Luna, what we now know as Luna Classic. They changed the name. This one lost its peg and fell to like, I think 50 cents, 5 cents, something like that. Very, very low. So it was trading at $1. It went to 5 cents. But because it's tied to its sister, Luna Classic, it was printed into oblivion. They just printed because that's how the formula worked. It was supposed to print. So next thing you know, every person who had one, each worth $118, it's now just one of a trillion, people, something like that. I mean, they're a drop in the bucket now. So now they're not worth $118 anymore. Now they're only worth 0.0000006 cents. There's a lot of zeros, okay? And they're just, and people who had $250 million, we heard reports of people who had $250 million, they were left with just $6. After the crash. I mean, could you imagine having $250 million? There was people who were pointing and said, well, I used to be a billionaire. So there's people that lost their whole life savings, a whole fortune just in this down move alone. And it's been low now. There was one pump, and then now we're coming back, and now been sitting at the sword cut. There's another support coming up. It's supposed to be coming up around the 17, 18, and 19 is where the next support is. The structure's there. But the price alone isn't enough to get you back to $1. So there has to be something external, because the most you're going to go to is, some of these prices that I showed you on the map. But if there's something external, such as a burn, and that burn is where they take all those trillions of currencies and throw them into a wallet that no one can touch, that nobody has the keys to. That's called a burn. And what it's going to do is it's going to delete those zeros and quickly bring it to like a cent. And when it brings it to the cent, you're going to see a lot of buying frenzy, because people are going to be like, oh, wow. You're also going to see some people taking profit who bought at some of these low levels. And you're also going to see a lot of people who weren't ready for that big fall. They want to take some profit. And so you're going to see prices skyrocket. And the most common dream is around 1.5 cents, or close to $1.30. Now, some people saw various prices along the way. What does that mean? That means that Luna Classic was most likely going to hit some of these levels, reject off of some for a little bit of time. It could be a day, it could be a couple days, it could be a little bit more time, but if it's really fast, it's going to be like really quick, and it's going to stop, and then it's going to hit these new levels very quick. And from what we're hearing from some of the dreams, and what I'm putting together from listening to some of the prophetic voices about this, is that it's possibly going to go to $10 very quickly and come back down. Now, some exchanges, you may not be able to buy it at that price if it's very fast. Now, this is also matching data. I told you guys that I see a big tidal wave of a crypto crash. I can see it in the data. It's still there. We're sitting on some of those supports. But I also see support for Bitcoin and a few other things. So what I'm expecting personally is I'm expecting a pump and a dump. You guys saw my video. The data really hasn't changed. It's still there. People said, oh, is your chart still valid? The chart was on a daily and a weekly chart. So it takes a few weeks. Now, it could be today, it could be this week, or it could be several weeks from now, which could be up to 2 or 3, even 3 months. I hope it's not that long. But it's already there, and it's positioned for a crash. But Bitcoin's also positioned to go up. So this is conflicting information. What somebody had a dream was that they saw Bitcoin have a massive pump right before it goes straight down. As soon as it pumped up, it went down, and it went down very low. And so a lot of the numbers we're expecting it to hit is around 10,000 or 11,000 mark. And my dream, I saw prices hitting 11,000. But I saw 4 sections in my dream. I saw May 29th something happening. That's when I called my friend. I saw July 29th was the focus of this calendar. And looking at the calendar, it was just a line chart. Sometime in August, there was a pump. But that means that sometime towards either the beginning of August or end of June, which was just last month, obviously not, there was some kind of big dip that must have happened for us to pump back up to normal prices. So it's possible that crash may happen soon, and a pump of Bitcoin could happen very soon as well, because Bitcoin's ready and its position structured to go up at the moment. It hasn't really pumped. It only pumped it just a little bit. I want to say like 20% of the way. It still has like another 80% to go at the current moment. I wanted to talk about Mr. Wyatt, what you guys mentioned. Well, first, let me talk about Pastor Keith. Pastor Keith said he doesn't mess around with the children when they have the dreams. If you look at Matthew chapter 18, verses 10, it says, see, you do not despise one of these little ones, for I tell you that their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father. Matthew 18:10. The angels in heaven, they often they have a lot of grace because there's a lot of investment the Lord has put in on children. That's again why I'm definitely not I'm definitely not for abortion. But you got to see that the Lord is putting a lot of spiritual nurturing and simply through the fact of the angels. So the angels stand before God, receive his glory, and those angels that are assigned to those children also receive of that. So sometimes children are more sensitive to the Spirit. And this is a topic for another day, but that's also why I believe there's a great desensitizing of children today, where as a society, they're introducing them to things way before they even have emotional or capacity to deal with any of these stuff. That's why these children get addicted to pornography. I have a friend, and she called me up the other day and says, "Hey, my son, he's getting into pornography. He's only 6. He's only 6. What the heck is going on?" She caught him once on accident. This time it was on purpose. So, there's different things. There's an attack on our children, on our society. You turn on what you think is a cartoon. It's not a cartoon. It's actually something, ungodly. And so there's a definitely attack. It's in the school system. I saw a meme about a child who was throwing up. He came home from school, and the little mom was looking at him like, "Are you okay?" And then he puts his hands on his knees and goes, bleh, and he throws up a rainbow with the rainbow everywhere all over the floor. Now, it's kind of funny and it's not funny. Because why is it's a cartoon meme about this children throwing up rainbows. What is the meme saying? The meme saying that there's so much indoctrination that you go home and that the children don't even know what to believe. There's a great perversity, an attack against our children. I'm really grateful for our brother Drew, who is Drew. I think your screen went black right now, but I'm really grateful for our brother Drew. He's not just a father, but a foster father, an adopted father. So he has many kids, and God is making him a father to the fatherless. The next things I wanted to say, I hope I think we just lost Drew. I hope we get him back in just a moment. But the next things I'll say is that Drew was saying right now about Sister Sharon, and you were
he just texted me. He said his phone is giving some issues.
Oh, okay.
He just sent me a text. Okay.
Now, guys, if Sister Sharon, if you're watching, we love you. We want to. Oh, I think we got him back. All right, sign and right. Hold on. All right, we got you back, Drew. But Sister Sharon, if you're watching, we want you to know that we all love you. We watch your videos, and your contribution to our community is fantastic. We really bless you. We want to have you on our channels. I want to have you at least on my channel as well. Interview you. We like to hang out. When we do have, some of you guys know in the JSON communities, we want to have a big cruise. When some of these cryptos pop off, we're going to be having a big cruise where a lot of us in the Christian communities get together. We'd like to have some of your guys' communities join on the JSON cruise, and we're just going to rent out a cruise ship and have a lot of great time having barbecue and a lot of stuff, barbecuing that shrimp and fish and celebrating the great wealth transfers and making connections in the body of Christ. We're also going to do probably live music with some bands, worship. We're gonna have and those cruises we're gonna do what is called breakouts, where there's different there's different like kind of like tutorials or sections of the different things that we're gonna be talking. We'll probably invite some guest speakers from some of our communities to give seminars on those cruises, and it's gonna be a fantastic time. But we have somebody starting to organize that, and it's just a matter of time. But Sister Sharon, we want to let you know we are praying for you. You were also in my dream when I first, I had this dream. I was like, I feel like I need to put this out there, and I saw the great crash happen before me while I was on this platform. At that time, I didn't have a platform. I didn't know it represented a platform until afterwards, but it represented a platform that I was standing on. It looked like a helicopter landing pad in the middle of the ocean after this great crash, and that was one of the very first YouTube videos I ever really did, and that was like a year and a half ago or so. And when I had that in the dream, the angel that I knew that later on to be an angel, the one who was bringing all this great wealth to me, as we were walking to get a tool to open up we were going to get a tool to open it up. the angel looked at me and says, "Hey, you know, I wanted to ask you about Sharon." Now I thought he was talking about the rose of Sharon, which I was like, you know, it's a biblical expression, and I was about to give him an answer, but then I woke up. I think it was within 1 week from when I had that dream that Sister Sharon made a video talking about me in her video, and she mentioned me. I was like, "Whoa, hey, she mentioned me," you know. I was like, "I'm someone special now," you know, like that. But
Wow.
Sister Sharon, we really love you because some people, and then also Drew, you were saying, Drew, you and Pastor Keith were saying about the random videos. I get so many testimonies of people who give me random. They say I found you randomly, but I know it was God, and they become real good core members. A lot of my friends, a lot of people, yeah, say, yeah, that was the same thing for me. I just was just randomly scrolling, and they find you. They don't believe it's an accident, but that they're led to watch because they could watch any video, even if a video is like tagged or something. They could have watched any video, but they feel like God is leading them to our communities and some of the other communities in these areas. And then I wanted to say about I was taking notes about what I was going to reply. The prices of gold and the prices of XRP. This is for you, Pastor Keith. You were talking about these things, saying, well, both of you guys were talking about invest in 7 ventures because you don't know what will befall you. That's what the Bible says. That's what Minister Drew said. But as we're looking into these things, guys, there's an order to it, and people don't know the order. Trust me, we're trying to find out order. Me, I specialize in timing. I'm trying. I can read the maps. I can see the strengths coming in, and weaknesses and health and sickness coming in the markets. People often come to my community for timing on when they hear something prophetically, when is the seasons, because I can read some of that. But we don't really know which crypto will pop off first, because even if you can read the data, you're not guaranteed that stuff is not being manipulated, which it is in a big way. So I have to try to read the manipulation too. And then we have to read intel communities. We do a lot of this stuff, but we are not guaranteed which crypto will go up first. Is it Shiba? Is it XLM? Is it XRP? Okay, some people have had different dreams, and then there's different pop-offs at times. There's going to be pop-offs to the thousands of XRP one day. There's going to be pop-offs to the $70, $90, $100 level one day. There's going to be pop-offs to the $12 level one day. Then there's going to be exposure of the glitch, which is the real prices of XRP, which is in the thousands. I believe it is. And so we see these things, and we need to know, what do you do first? Well, the answer is really simple. It's what Mr. Drew said. Think about this. You have some gold off to the side. You got some dinar off to the side. You got some Shiba. You got some XLM. You got some XRP. You got some Luna. Which one's going to go up first? Well, to be honest, it doesn't matter if you have, a little bit and everything, because just say Luna pops up today. You're going to make a lot of money. And as Sister Sharon pointed out, that money is seed money. When you receive that seed money, you're going to take that seed money and you're probably going to invest and pour more into the others. Okay, so now you have a lot more money to invest in these other areas. Now you'll have some to, for your needs and for your bills and expenditures. But just say the next one pop off is going to be Shiba. Okay, some people saw the dream about where they poured the bucket into Shiba, and then the Shiba bucket filled up, and they poured it into XLM, and then filled up, and then they poured it into XRP. That may be very well the case, because now just say Shiba pops up, and you get a lot of your Shiba investment from prophetically words about Shiba. And so now you have a lot of money in Shiba, you're going to pour it into the other. So you can just take those. But if you only have one or the other and you're just deciding what I don't know what to do, then these others going to go off and you're going to feel a little bit envious. You're going to look at them and say, "Oh man, look at, wow, they got their blessing." And I want you to celebrate. You need to celebrate for them. Don't be discouraged. Yours is going to come. But maybe a better way is to have a little bit of everything, so that when the dinar pops off, you're going to see, "Oh wow, I got, I made a lot of money," right? As somebody was telling me about dinar, so I got some dinar. And then that may be the time for the dinar, which I believe is going to be close to the Israel, when Israel starts doing more war stuff. I believe that's the timings for those, but I can't prove that. But when that stuff starts happening, the dinar may pop up at revalue during those days. And now you have all this money, and now you can buy way more XRP, Shiba, and everything in your set. But if you have a little bit of each, it's gonna give you a little bit of an edge. Again, invest in 7 ventures. So I'm really grateful that Minister Wyatt was sharing that with us.
Amen. I mean, we know what God has already spoken amongst His community of believers, and now just look at what the Word says. You cannot go wrong by following the Word. And I commend people who are, they feel like going through the videos, they're being diligent because they want to know what God is saying. But take a step back and don't spend 3, 4, 5 hours looking at videos if you don't spend that much time with the Lord. I'm just saying, because when we post our videos, we know we're not doing it for ourselves. We know we're doing it for the Lord, but I'm also getting my alone time with the Lord, and maybe some days I need to spend a little more alone time with Him, and so you can have clarity. Because if you go searching video, one after the other, and you start getting overwhelmed because you're not ever pausing and saying, "All right, God, what are you saying? What do you want from me?" Like, take a step back, because if God has already led you to some of these videos, you're not gonna miss out. But the Bible also says wealth gained hastily is vanity. So don't be hasty in trying to gain wealth. It's steady plotting. Invest in these things. Okay, it hasn't happened yet, but you've got more money to invest. Okay, keep investing in these things. Like yesterday, I went to my local coin shop. I grabbed a few more ounces of silver. I like silver, it's cool, but I haven't received any personal revelation on what exactly I need to invest in right at this moment. But I trust God that He leads me. And I felt like I got confirmation going to my coin shop yesterday. Does that mean silver's taking off first? No, but I'm still steadily plotting. I'm preparing my mind. And you look at what happened during the 7 years of famine with Joseph under Pharaoh. You guys, if you have already invested in these ventures, you are already in on the wealth transfer. It may not have manifested itself into the natural yet, but you've already are in the wealth transfer. In the spiritual, you are already where God wants you to be, and you're not going to miss out. You just need to be patient and grateful and just be thanking Him. Like, thank you, God, that I am an early investor. Thank you, God, that I am not a second too late to investing in these things.
That's
Really,
good.
really, really shift your thinking, because you, if you trust that God orders your steps and you haven't seen the wealth transpire in the natural yet, but God orders your steps, then you're right exactly where you need to be right now.